candle glow, the thing I do with you. Kitchen waltz for two, and kitchen waltz for two, me and you. Lined up on the shelf, spice jars filled with goodness, twirling round in the pot, brings a little joy to our love nest. And table set for two, me and you. We're taking our time, stir up passion in the room, fix up a feast by the light of the moon. Come on over, honey, the pie is almost cool. My favorite place of all is right here with you. And favorite feast for two, me and you. Kitchen waltz for two, we're dancing round the room. Sometimes there's not even any music playing, so we make up our own tune. Ooh, me and you. Ooh, dance for two. Ooh, 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 me and you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Hello and welcome to Unity of Tacoma. My name is Reverend Lori Erwin-Johnson, and I'm the spiritual leader here today. I go by the pronouns she and her. And if this is your first time watching or tuning in on the live stream, welcome. We're so happy that you found us. If you've been here before and this is your umpteenth time being with us, welcome back. We're so happy that you're here. Thank you for being here at Unity of Tacoma. I'd like to introduce our musical guest, which is Jean Mann. And she is actually tuning her instrument, but we are absolutely so blessed to have her here with us today. So cool and so awesome. She's always brings her A game, and it's so nice to have her here. Finally, in meeting in person. This is the first time we've met in person throughout the pandemic. We've been blessed with talented musicians who could meet with us online via Zoom throughout this whole time, and she's been with us, and we're so grateful. So thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
I would like to have you welcome each other, and we've been doing this welcome throughout the last couple of weeks because we can't really get together and hug anymore. We can't really get together really close and shake hands anymore. So I would like you to turn to your neighbor instead and welcome them, and repeat after me. I see you and recognize who you truly are. You are the representation of the divine source. You are a unique expression of God. You are wonderful, magnificent, and I see your true beauty. I celebrate the Christ consciousness within you. I appreciate you, and I thank God for you. Thank you for sharing your light with me. And now I'm going to light the Christ candle. We were talking this morning about about the not getting it the first time, struggling last week, but we got it today. And let us say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And I picked a prayer today that was written by our prayer chaplain, Deb Burks. And I would like to read that today because I was thinking of her, this weekend. And I just thought she wrote the best prayers. So I'm going to share this prayer with you. So let us pray. I am made in the image and likeness of God for a spiritual purpose, and that fills me with zeal and enthusiasm. As I express gratitude, acceptance, and kindness to others, my purpose becomes clear through prayer and meditation. I give thanks for clarity and the power to live each day with purpose. And so it is. Amen. And now we'll have Jean to give us another song.
So in light of Valentine's Day tomorrow, I decided I would pull out one of my old jazz standards. So. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable. Yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? But don't change your hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? But don't change your hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day.
That was great. Thank you so much. Well, happy Valentine's Day then. Today is actually International Self-Love Day. And it's the day before Valentine's Day, of course, because we have to think of ourselves first before we can love anybody else fully. So love yourself. And that's okay. I'm all about hugging myself. Makes me feel better. Today we continue our talk on it's a 4-week talk on the book, Why Woo Woo Works, by Dr. David Hamilton, and the book examines some of the science that supports the alternative therapies, different modalities and spiritual practices that we often think of as woo-woo. but many of these approaches actually have data to support that they actually work. So today we are going to cover the last chapter in the series, and we're going to be talking about the law of attraction. And our affirmation for today is, I send forth kind, loving, positive thoughts, and I attract only good into my life. I send forth kind, loving, positive thoughts, and I attract only good in my life. And our reading is from the Daily Word. And for those of you who don't know what the Daily Word is out there in live stream land, the Daily Word is a daily devotional with scripture lessons and readings and daily affirmations that get delivered to your phone or to your door through a publication. And you can go to dailyword.org to find out more about that. And this one is actually from October 1978. And it was absolutely perfect for today. And it reads, the law of attraction is one of the great universal laws. Life like attracts like. What I attract into my life is what I think, what I feel, what I consciously am. It is my choice as to whether I attract positive, happy, loving experiences or negative, difficult ones. The more good I acknowledge all around me and the more kind and loving thoughts I send out, the more good I attract into my life. I appreciate God's beauty everywhere, and by the law of attraction, I discover more beauty every single day. I think good thoughts, positive, loving thoughts, and I reap the rich harvest of God's abundance, God's love, God's joy. I react positively to life, and life smiles back at me. I send forth kind, loving, positive thoughts, and I attract only good into my life. And the scripture today is from Galatians 6:7. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. Today we're going to be talking about the law of attraction, and I have some fun stories about that. I'm always about the story. And I always hold on to the vision for myself. I always have something that is in the forefront of my consciousness that is what is mine to be at some point. It may not be now, it may be in the future sometime, but I also always have some form of attraction towards the future. I know that I'm bringing whatever it is into my life, and it is coming to my life in its own time, in the best time that it can come. And I always hold that for myself, but I never really force that on my children. My children, that's not a belief system that they don't have to believe that. They didn't have to incorporate that into their lives and so they consider themselves not religious at all or spiritual in any way, which is absolutely fine. I mean, that's their thing, and that's how they were raised. I wanted them to discover their own path. And so when I start talking about the law of attraction, they're kind of like, okay. And they call me the hippie, which is fine. I'm fine with that. It's great. I think hippies are great people. And they always say that, and it's fine, and I'm good. However, I do have one that dabbles in the law of attraction. One that has actually reads the Daily Word every day and takes the scripture and the affirmation every day. But he's not religious or spiritual in any way. This is something that he does for himself. Well, I remember when he was in high school. This is where the law of attraction really came in for him. He was in 9th grade. He goes into 9th grade into Lincoln High School. He was a great student. He was never an excellent student, but he was a good enough student. He got good grades, and he did exactly what he needed to do in order to get those grades. He wasn't he didn't do extra credit for sure. He was one of those big man on campus kind of guys. He was, even when he was in elementary school, he became student body president. That was his thing. And I'm like, why do you want to be student body president? Because it's cool. And then when it came to time to actually doing the job as student body president, he's like, I don't want to do that. It's like, it's a big popularity contest. He wanted to be big man on campus, but he didn't want to do the work. So this has been his thing. He was all like this in school. He was always popular, and people liked him, and he was good in sports, and he was the quarterback in high school, and all those things. So that was his thing. But he gets into 9th grade at Lincoln High School, and he kind of messed around that first year because you go in ninth grade and you go from middle school where kind of grades don't really count, and then when you get into high school, they count. You need every single credit to graduate. So he gets there and he kind of messes around and he laughs about it and he's great and he gets behind on some credits and then he gets behind completely, and he was able to move on to 10th grade, which was a good thing, but he still was behind on credits. And the only thing that really got him spurred forward was the fact that he had to have good enough grades to play sports. So finally he had to decide that that he wanted to play sports, so he had to do his homework. So he got into a program that helped teenagers look towards the future in college. And it was a program where they actually got them ready by getting their resumes together and their letters for college and helped them apply for college and all their student loans. And they took them to all the college campuses around Washington. It was just a really great program. And so it really got my son got into this mindset of college. But because of his ninth grade grades, he struggled the whole time he was there. And he was able to play sports successfully. He went on to play, like I said, he was the quarterback and when in his senior year, and he also ran track. Well, so I explained to him when he was young, we talked about the law of attraction and what it is that you would like to manifest in your life, and you need to be very intentional about that. So I asked him, I said, so what do you want to do? I said, he goes, I want to go to college and play football. I was like, all right then, you better get on that. He goes, but I'm behind in credits. I said, you better get on that. So he actually started putting in the mentality and setting goals for himself, and he made himself a vision board that he put on his wall. And if you're unfamiliar with vision boards out there, it's a piece of paper or something that goes up like a poster board that goes on your wall that you may cut out pictures from a magazine or print them out online, and then you put them on this vision board. And vision boards represent all of the things you would like to bring into your life. So he did this and he put this on his wall. And all of this stuff, he was really ready to go to college, but he still had this thing in the background that says, you got your grades weren't great in ninth grade, and that really influenced how the colleges are going to look at you. And he was a great football player, but not enough to get a scholarship to, full ride. So for that, so he was still struggling when he was a senior. Still looking for the right college, still looking for the right university. And he kept putting in his applications, putting in applications, and no acceptance. And he was just giving up on his dream of going to college. But I said, no, keep going. You've got that goal, you've got that idea, you know what you want. And towards the end of the year, when he was getting close to graduation, thankfully he graduated on time, God bless him. And he did really great. He graduated, of course, he was able to speak at his graduation and, being that guy. And he was finally able to say, Mom, I can go to community college. And I was like, okay, that's great. I mean, if you want to go to community college, that's awesome. Just, keep going towards your dream. Well, that same year, he was a quarterback at Lincoln High School. The former quarterback backup for the Seattle Seahawks, John Kitna, came in. And John Kitna then, for the next 2 years, was the coach at Lincoln High School. He met my son the year before he became coach, and he started coaching him on the side, just working with his quarterback skills. And like I said, Richard, don't give up. You're going to play someday. And he kept saying that, don't give up. You're going to play someday. And sure enough, we got a notification from John Kitna that my son was accepted to Central Washington University. And I was like, did you even apply for Central? I said, I didn't even know if that you did. He goes, well, yeah, but they didn't think of me. How did you get this letter? Come to find out, John Kitna was from Central Washington University, and he had already put in the word to have Richard come in and to be part of his school. So he was accepted into Central Washington. And my son went to Ellensburg and ran track there. And he was a college student. He went to university just like he wanted to, just because the right people were in the right place at the right time, and he didn't give up on his dream. He manifested that. He went on to do more, and once he figured out that this was a real thing, that you could actually do this, manifest what you want in your life and really get there, then he really started to do it. He really did it after that. He spent 1 year at Central, which he wasn't really pleased with being in the rural environment of Central Washington University. He wanted to be in the urban environment. So he applied for PLU. PLU is very expensive. Pacific Lutheran University is a private university here in Tacoma. And I was like, how is that going to work? But of course, I have to let that law of attraction, that thing, that manifestation, allow it to work through him and not through me, because I could hold space for him, but I couldn't manifest that for his reality. So he goes about saying, I'm just going to come back home to Tacoma and I'm going to go to PLU. And I was like, okay, good luck with that. And sure enough, he applied and he talked to the coach here at PLU, the football coach, and he was accepted. And he got a whole bunch of scholarships, and he was able to continue to go to PLU and graduate from PLU with a degree in exercise science and coaching. He continues with this manifestation of his life, still not quite believing that the woo-woo is actually working for him, which it is. It's really working for him. And he goes off after he graduates, and he decides he wants to get a job as a teacher. Now, he did not go on to do teaching when he was in school. He had no idea that he needed to have this special teaching. You need to have an education or degree when you get out of school in order to teach, right? Oh no, not Richard. So he goes into a school around here. He goes to Summit, charter school, Summit Olympus, and they wanted a teacher for, I can't remember what it was then. It was not literature. He's a teacher of literature now, but at the time it was not. And he goes in there and he says, I can do this. They hired him as a high school teacher with nothing but a bachelor's degree in science. And I was like, that's weird. I didn't think you could actually do that. So come to find out that they did. And they gave him a certificate in teaching at the state of Washington. And today he is a teacher of literature at the high school. And he has a certificate now. But at the time he did not. And so all of this manifestation in his experience was what he wanted. And he set the goal, and no matter how he was going to get there, he was going to get there. And all of these different routes opened up, all of these different branches of experience and things that he had no idea, I had no idea he could do. He ended up doing all of these things. And today he's continuing to use that law of attraction to manifest what it is he would like in his life. And he's been successful ever since. Now, I've used law of attraction myself, and I use it every single day. And it's that's why I'm here. Standing here, using this experience, being here at Unity of Tacoma 20 years ago, saying I really would like to do this, and the angel and the devil on my shoulder said, yes, you can, and the other side says, no, you cannot. And here I am. I am the minister at Unity of Tacoma, and I am blessed every day with that experience. Also, I always wanted to teach university adult education. I wanted to be part of a program, and this week I received a job offer at Unity Worldwide Ministries, and I received a job as an e-technologist, so I'll be working with Unity Worldwide. And so I'm really excited about that, but all of this because I had a dream for myself, and I hold on to the idea that this is what I would really like to have for myself, and I just hold on to it like it's all that I have. It's like the most important thing in my life. And so setting a goal and allowing yourself to reach that goal is absolutely imperative to getting where you want to be in life. And you have to believe in yourself. Even though the world doesn't fall at your feet the way you would like, still be open to those openings in your life, that synchronicity that comes to you, those things that you never expected. And I was telling my friend Cynthia this week when we were meeting during our book study this week that before I got this job from Unity Worldwide, I was doing meditation. I said, I just really need a sign that I am in the right space. I need a sign that this is going to work. And right after that same day, Cynthia, my friend, sends me a picture of some books that she wanted to get rid of because she's cleaning out herself and she's getting it ready to move. And she sent me pictures of all these book covers, all these books that she has. And a couple of weeks ago, I was looking for a specific book that I wanted to use for a talk I was going to give. I lost it. I couldn't find it. It must have lost it in the move, or it must have got put in a box that got taken to the Goodwill or something. And I just lost it. I couldn't find it. I was like, darn it. And I couldn't remember the name of the book. I couldn't remember the name of the author. I was like, Jim. And it was one from Unity, and it's one that's not in publication anymore. I was like, I'm never going to find that book. So I just gave up on it. Well, Cynthia sent me a picture the other day after I asked for my sign. And that book was one of the books that were inside all of the different pictures that she gave me. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That book with that author, the only thing that let me know that was the right book is because I could see the cover and I remembered what the cover looked like. All of this and more. And when you get into a space of this is what I would like or something better, something always comes up, always towards what you would like. It may not come in the way that you would expect. It may not be coming in down the roads that you expect. You may turn the corner in one way and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in the wrong direction. And then all of a sudden something hits you and it tells you that you are on the right track. The law of attraction is a real thing. And Dr. Hamilton in the book, he talks about several different things. But I also, when I was in school, studied the law of attraction in different ways because I was in psychology in school. And I studied different types of how attraction or how we create our own realities. And so he didn't really cover that, but I'm going to cover those here today. And there's something that is called the Pygmalion Effect. Has anybody heard of that, the Pygmalion Effect? Probably you do because you work with kids. The teachers that supported my son in high school, they were the ones that gave him the hope. They planted the seed. They had the expectation that he could succeed. And the Pygmalion Effect is when a person outside of yourself, often a teacher, unbeknownst to them, has some kind of bias as to whether or not you're going to succeed, whether you're going to succeed or fail based on what they think. So you could have a child come in and they may look a little ragged or a little bit distracted, and the teacher will look at him and say, he's not going to make it. And that will change the trajectory of his success or failure within the class. And that teachers implicate that bias or that judgment or that idea about that student will change the way that student, without the student even knowing, without the teacher even knowing. This is something called the Pygmalion Effect. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy without you knowing. So without my son having this experience with teachers who were supportive, he may have had another reality. In the late 1960s, researchers had found this Pygmalion Effect by giving students a pre-entrance exam, an intelligence test beforehand. And then they gave the results to the teachers to say, these 20 students will be probably the most successful in your class over the next term. And actually, these students did blossom and did do well in the term. However, they found out 8 months later, the teachers were told that the 20 students were chosen at random. They weren't any better or any worse than any other child. They were just randomly tested, but the attitude, whether it be unconscious bias that they hold for these children, causes this Pygmalion Effect. So how you think about someone else can actually influence how they're going to be. So be careful. You're stronger than you think. It is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. And if you probably heard of that, a self-fulfilling prophecy where you believe something about yourself and then something happens. And that can be both a positive and a negative situation. You can get up in the morning and stub your toe and then you think, oh, this is going to be a bad day. And then you have the experience of a bad day all the rest of the day. But you can also have a good experience. You can get up in the morning. You can have the intention that you're going to have this wonderful experience. And sure enough, everything falls in place and you have a good experience. You are the creator of your own reality. Your brains, make sure that you coincide with what you believe. And belief is very, very important. Another thing that's really important when you're manifesting is to act as if it's already here. So if you set a goal for yourself and you want to say you want to have this special job, or you want to go to school, or whatever it is that you would like to do, then you act as if it is part of your reality already. Because that trains your body, your brain, your biofield, like we talked about last week, trains you into becoming aware of that reality in your life. And then you're training yourself by thinking about it over and over and acting as if. So when you get up in the morning and you want to work at an office, for example, you put on a blazer. You get dressed up. What is it that you want to dress up like? You want to dress up like somebody in a profession. You want to be that. That is who you want to be. You are already there. By training your brain to do that, you are training yourself to have that reality already. So that is something to do, acting as if. And finally, another thing that talked about, and this was definitely in the book, was mental rehearsal. When you practice seeing yourself as the experience that you are experiencing. So if you want to work in an office and you're wearing your suit clothes and you're walking around in the grocery store, you're still in your mind. You can hold that mindset, that mental rehearsal that you are a worker and you're a CEO at a bank, or whatever it is you would like to do. Because then that mental rehearsal again tells the brain it's a practice for what's to come. And it's laying the foundation of what's going to happen for you. So these acting as if, mental rehearsal, self-fulfilling prophecy, and of course the Pygmalion Effect, because don't let people influence you. Now that you know the Pygmalion Effect is there, then you can understand that somebody else can influence you. That awareness will help that and help to negate that so it doesn't become part of your reality. We don't want that. We love them. They're kind and generous people in our lives that are there to, whether they're supportive or not. But we need to remember that this is our goal. This is who we want to be. And this is where we're going to go. So act as if, set that self-fulfilling prophecy, and mentally rehearse, because that will become the person that you become. And memories are stored in really weird ways in the brain. And once you start to do the things over and over, like practicing to ride a bike, when you practice to be the person you would like to be over and over and over, it gets trained in your brain. And you then know how to ride the bike after much practice, or you begin to become the CEO that you would like to be in your reality. And finally, one of the most important things that I have too, in addition to all the psychological things that I just threw at you, the most important thing to me is that I know that God has my back. I have the divine source with me at all times that I can tap into, because I know that source can push me to the next level. It can push me to where I need to be. It gives me the energy when I feel low. It gives me the inspiration when I don't know where to find it. So God is there, or source, or divinity, or whatever you would like to call it, is there for you. Tap into that. When you're in meditation, get there. Because when I asked the other day about that, give me a sign, I got the sign from the universe. A sign that says, you know what, this book that you were looking for, this really obscure thing that you thought you'd never find again, see, I can do anything. So remember, that has your back. And so, in conclusion, when I started my program in my master's program years and years ago, when I decided I wanted to be a Unity minister, I didn't go anywhere near the ministry route to begin with. But here I ended up here. My son wanted to go to university, but didn't start off his high school career in a place that was supportive of that goal. But again, he was able to figure it out, to find the way, and just the paths open, and he was able to be successful. You too can use this mentality, this idea that you can manifest. And even if it sounds silly to you, who cares? It's not their reality. It's yours. It's your reality. Is this what you want? This is what you want to create for yourself? This is what you want to bring into your life? Then just do it. That's all I have to say. It seems woo-woo. It seems outside, because you're like, I'm not a magician. You kind of are. I watched this wonderful movie the other day that talked about alchemy. And alchemy is the ability to create gold out of whatever. And these kids were trying to create gold. And the moral of the story was that the gold is already in there. The gold is already inside of you. You need to discover it. You don't have to create it. So discover your inner manifestation and discover your self-fulfilling prophecy. Discover who you really want to be, because you can. And it's that simple and that difficult at the same time. So in a few minutes, we're going to do a meditation that's going to help us get in touch with that. But first, I'm going to have Jean bring us back with song. Thank you.
Thank you. Lots to think about with that one. This is a new song called Atlas. There's a story every moment, a notch in every tree. From your button nose to your pinky toes, come share a tale with me. Quivering of seasons changed, no pushback on the fold. This rumpled, tumbled, tender heart is warm, its hand untold. Our weary, traveled bodies have wrestled tomes of time. There's grace in moving slower, an atlas of many lines. Weathered every storm thus far, the wind may take its toll. Carry on and on we do, the crown of learned souls. There's a story every moment, notch in every tree. From your button nose to your pinky toes, come toast this life with me. When day is done, I'll bid you well and when day is gone, I'll hug you hard and bid you warm adieu. Hold you in my deepest heart until we meet anew.
Thank you, Jean. You know, my grandniece, she now lives in Oklahoma, and I miss her. But Jean is her favorite musician we have. Yeah. She says, I really like Jean. I was like, okay. I will tell her. There you go. So Oklahoma, yeah. Elgin, which is pretty flat there. Okay. So we're going to go into meditation. And this is a meditation that I believe will help us get into the next level of our manifestation. What is it that we would like to bring into our world? And we're going to do a mental rehearsal, a preparation for what it is that you would like to have in your life. And it's something that you can do every day or whenever you need it. You can change it. It's not something that can be really set in stone. It can be very plastic. It can move around. You can change it. You can add to it. You can do whatever you would like. This is your fantasy and your reality at the same time. Because what is fantasy? It's imagination. And what does imagination do? It sets innovation and allows you to become the person you would like to be. For this exercise, I'd like you to think about a question, and I'm going to give it to you, and then you're going to think about it for a moment, and then you're going to answer it, and you're going to meditate on that answer. So, get into a space of reception, receiving, breathing, into a space where you're calm, and just allowing what is to be what is. Just be comfortable and receive what happens and what comes to you. Whatever that is, just allow it to be. I'm going to ask you this question. After you leave the service today, a miracle happened, and one of your dreams came true. What would that be? The heavens opened up, and you leave the service today, and as you leave the doors, you know that the miracle has happened in whatever way, and your dream has come true. What would that dream be, and what would the miracle be? Now just take a moment to really imagine. It doesn't have to be elaborate. I would like you to be gentle with yourself. Because sometimes in our minds we hear those things, that devil on your shoulder that says, no, you can't have that. That's not the case here today. You can have anything you want when you leave the building today. What would that be? What's happening when this happens to you? When this occurs? What emotions are you feeling? What are you seeing? Is there something specific that you can put your finger on, that you know for sure that this would happen, and you can see it in your mind's eye, or you can feel it in your heart? What are you doing? What are you wearing? If you want to be the CEO, are you wearing a blazer or a suit? Or if you're working with animals, do you have a fuzzy kitten or a puppy? What is it that you would like? Be really specific about the details. Just imagine what you're doing. Every detail. The more detail, the better. And now that you've had this vision, really know and feel in your heart that this is your reality. This is who you are. This is what you want for yourself. This is what you're asking for yourself. This is what you're accepting for yourself. And there is no exception. And when you leave here today, when we're done with our meditation, something will happen to you that might remind you that you're on the right path. It might remind you that, yeah, maybe you have to change this or do this, or some kind of sign will come to you. Look for those signs, because something will change. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but when that sign comes, you'll know. You know that you are on your way. Because right here and right now is all we have, right here and right now. Time is a construct. The future and the past are all woven into the powerful and present now. And it is who we are right now. Whatever happened before, whatever is going to happen, whatever's happening right now in this moment is all intertwined. And you can affect it all. If you have to forgive something from the past, forget something from the past, doesn't matter. It's not. Time is irrelevant here. You can change, you can alter, you can change your story about yourself. You can change your story about what you want. You can be the person you want to be. And there isn't anything or anyone that can tell you different, because you are the driver of your own bus. You're the creator of your reality. And just sit with that for just a moment, with that just wonderful feeling of what it would be like to have this as part of your life. This exercise helps you to set your own self-fulfilling prophecy, to help you to get ready to fake it until you make it, and it gets you ready for the true vision of mental rehearsal, and to have God have your back. You know the source is there. The source is there for you as much as it is for anyone else. It'll help you have faith, All of this and so much more is yours. And as we end this meditation, I'd like you to take a deep breath and let it out, knowing that you have done an exercise of real importance, the most important thing. You're on the road to becoming exactly what you would like to be. In and out breathing, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into this space. And Jean's going to bring us out of meditation with song, and then we'll have some announcements.
Looking down the stream, far as the eye can see, nothing in the way, nothing in the fray. You fly and fly back to a simple time, no reason and no rhyme for doing what you do, no fussing round the coop. You smile and smile. But one hard breath and you're caught in the wind, holding court with hearth and kin. Your mind reels back, a fish on a line, flopping round fighting against the tide. You try and try. Stories in the bookcase, hidden between the words, sparking memories, bringing you to your knees. You cry and cry. Heartache holds its own, a tether on your soul, shining ever bright, while holding on so tight. You're tired inside. The duct tape trunk holding all your life, glue gone weak after all this time. The hardest thing is to let it go. Love comes round when you let it flow. It's time. It's time. It's time. Looking down the stream, far as the eye can see, nothing in the way, nothing in the fray. We fly and fly. We fly and fly. We fly.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we've come to the portion of our service where we open our hearts to give. All donation we receive here at Unity of Tacoma go to support the missions and various ministries and musicians and the programs that we have here at Unity. There are several ways that you can give. You can go to our website at www.unityoftacoma.org/donate to give via PayPal. You can donate through Zelle using our telephone number 253-576-3225. You can mail a check to Unity of Tacoma, P.O. Box 112289, Tacoma, Washington 98411. And if you're in the sanctuary today, you can drop off your offering here in the prosperity box. And as we prepare to give, hold your intentions within your hands, visualizing the circulating of abundance flowing through you and as you. Jesus taught us in Luke 6:38, give and you will receive. You will be given much, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It will spill into your lap. The way you give to others is the way God will give back to you. And as you visualize holding your gift with your hands, in your hands, please repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for my blessings today. I am grateful in every way. And so it is. Amen. May the blessings of your gift bring so many blessings back to you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts here at Unity of Tacoma. So our announcements, today is the conclusion of our book study series on why woo-woo works. But we will also be meeting this Thursday. I believe it's February, I have the wrong date here. This Thursday, whatever it is, at 6:30 p.m., we're going to continue with our book study, and we meet at 6:30 p.m. via Zoom. We have a really great group. I love meeting together, and if you're interested in doing that, please email me at lori@unityoftacoma.org. That's LORI@unityoftacoma.org. If you're interested, even if you haven't read the book or you haven't heard the series, go back and listen to my talks, and then you can come on in and we can have a discussion anyway. We have really great discussion whether or not you've read the book. Lots of information, and we're just sharing and just being part of each other's lives, and it's a wonderful time. So please think about joining us on Thursday. Next Sunday, February 20th at 10 a.m., our guest speaker will be Cindy Akana, and her musical guest that day will be David Robeck. Beginning Sunday, where is my brain? Sunday, February 27th, we will begin our Lent series on release and renew. And each Sunday we will be focusing on a topic of how to let go of dis-ease within our body and bring about well-being. So we're going to be doing that. Lent is a Christian time of letting go. And so we're going to be letting go of what no longer serves us in our health and well-being, and we're going to bring in what it is that's going to nurture us. We're going to be doing that for 40 days, so that's about 6 weeks or so. So sometimes a vice, a habit, drinking coffee is what they usually get rid of, but that's not what we're asking here. We're asking you to get rid of what is it that in your body, in your life, that's causing you some kind of discomfort or something that you would no longer like to have. We're going to be working on that for a couple of weeks. So that's going to start on Sunday, February 27th. We will have a 6-week online meeting, a spirit group that will meet on Wednesdays at 6:30 that will go through this process of how are we nurturing each other. We'll have a workbook, we'll have discussion questions and things for you to reflect upon, and I will help you get that link to join and to register, so you can go to my email at lori@unityoftacoma.org, and I will start pointing you in the direction of registration. That book study spirit group, it's not really a book study, it'll be like a workbook study and spirit group, will be starting on March 2nd. It's a Wednesday. So, and it'll go through Wednesday, April 6th. So that's how long it's going to go. And if you like what's happening here at Unity of Tacoma, if you're excited about what you're hearing, or you think that we're doing a good job, or you just want people to know what you're doing on Sunday, let them know on social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. And if you don't have any social media, just tell your friends, this is what I'm doing on Sunday. I really think it's pretty cool. They'd like you to join us. And so invite people, tell people we're here. We're always here on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. And our benediction today is really short, because I was looking for something that I thought would inspire. And this one, I've always been a big fan of Wayne Dyer. And Wayne Dyer, in his book, Wishes Fulfilled, Mastering the Art of Manifesting, said, if you believe it will work out, you'll see opportunities. If you believe it won't, you will see obstacles. I implore you, invite you, challenge you to see your opportunities and move forward with faith this week. I'd like you to thank Jean for being here today and wonderful music that you've offered. And she's going to take us out with one more song. She's going to be leading us in our peace song. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure to be with you all today, here and there. All right. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step